Good evening.
Hey, Treb.
How are you doing this evening?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Yes, I am doing very well. I am very excited to be able to experience this evening with you, to exchange concepts and ideas, to share information, and to share our energies with one. And I know that you have many questions that you wish to ask in this evening. You may begin when you are ready.
Okay, thank you, Treb. I was wondering last time we spoke,
Yes!
you were speaking about how some of the reptilian entities, like the Naga and different groups, I may have some connections to.
Yes! Which entities do you wish to experience? There are many reptilian energies that are directly to you. Is it more so of the Naga entities that you wish to experience, or what most entities call the Earth reptilians?
Oh, which ones are the most connected with me right now? Do you think?
In this moment, there are three different that are very connected to you, that are highly connected to your energy. One of them is what you would perceive to be called the Earth reptilian entities. There are also a group that is connected, that is what you would perceive as a benevolent true race that is very connected to humans, that exist within the Hercules constellation. There is a third reptilian race that is of a reptilian hybrid nature, and they exist within the outer rings of Pleiadian region, or maybe perhaps even within the borderlines of the Taurus constellation.
Oh, wow, that's exciting. Can you tell me about the ones from Earth that I'm connected to?
Yes, yes, there are many of these entities that you are deeply connected to. Understanding that the entities that are Earth reptilians, the ones that are in the now are still connected to you, but the ones that are from your linear past are much more deeply connected to you. When you are looking at time in a linear fashion, you perceive there now and a later, but in reality, all of those things exist in a now moment. All of those are only different perceptions of time periods within your planetary consciousness. The one group that you are connected to was previous to 14,000 years BC, and these entities are a group that, although they were still considered Type 2, they were more in the malevolent side of the Type 2 race. And as they are connecting to you in that moment, they are connecting to your energy of who you are now, your lower fractalized consciousness. Also, there was a past life in where you were connecting to these entities, what you perceive as times Anunnaki. There were still small groups of Anunnaki that were coming backwards and forwards to Earth at the time period. So although you were aware of these Earth reptilians, and although you were aware of the Anunnaki, your energy stayed away from Anunnaki entities when they came to Earth in order to try to rekindle their relationship with humans. And in the Earth reptilians, the one that you bumped into your walk as you were going through the woods looking for food. And as you connected to this entity, they begin to express a concept of defensive mechanisms that were perhaps in your perception showing a teeth and also placing their tail in a very stiff maneuver or gesture. And as you saw this, you had heard stories about the ancient reptilian people on your planet. And although they were not ancient reptilians in our definition, it's just what the terminology was back in that moment, in that time. So connecting to this entity, you felt their fear. It made you physically desire to attack or to defend yourself. So there was a struggle between the two of you, and after you had gotten the better of this entity physically, surprising the entity, it gave you a connection with its own language to your language skills and expressed you that it wasn't afraid to die. And very surprised to hear this, speak your native language. You immediately jumped off of the entity and allowed it to come back to its feet. And although you were very fearful of finding a reconciliation with you or attacking you physically, you understood that it was defeated, and by giving you that permission, that it had basically given up. So you were hoping that with your physical size and strength, it did not kill you. And this began a very odd style of relationship, almost the closest to what you can consider to be a friendship back in the day. And as you begin to find out about one another in the moment and begin to meet up approximately a month or once per lunar cycle, which is not your month that you have now, but very close within a 20-day range. And every moon cycle in which you co-created and experienced confirmations of talking to one another and teaching one another, you begin to have a very deep, reflective concept on your own and your own reptilian inner. And as you begin with the reptilian side, it helps develop the mental status of you, which catapulted you into being able to lead more humans. That life is very much attached to this life. Although you do not physically see the reptilian entities anymore, you are with them energetically. And when they are connecting to the one who related into a different reptilian being, understands the past life connection with you, understands that you are still its friend, but because of their status and the way that they are perhaps more disconnected than they were in that time, almost views you as if you are an old friend but still an enemy. So relationship still happens, and often in your sleep state and subconsciously, when you feel that energy, you connect more deeply to that. And that is the relationship in which we are able to experience for you.
Whoa, man, that's dope. That's exciting. Yeah, that's cool.
Yes,
Yeah,
very good. Well,
yeah, Treb. Hey, Treb. I was meditating on the Naga people too, and you know what? It came from you because after I heard you talking about the Naga, I started experiencing these entities making connections with me because they saw I was connected with you. You know?
yes, and the entities that you perceive as the Naga or the Earth reptilians, there are fractions of in this moment, in this now time, that have disconnected from the larger group of Nagas that are more centered in separation and are very loving and very caring about humans. They have a very deep connection, and there are many of them that attach to your energy when you desire it, when you are working upon the concept of thinking or meditating or sleeping with energy in your mind. They connect you, but it is not as a connection as your old dear friend.
Hey, Trev, can we connect to one of these entities now to say hi to 'em?
Yes, you wish to speak to us.
Yeah, one of the reptilians. Can you connect to the old friend guy?
Yes, we will only be able. We would not be able to connect you to your old friend as the vibration is not fitting for the host. It would not be fitting to bring that within this. But we will connect you to an entity that is more upon the polarity of connecting with humans and loving humans.
Thank you so much, Trev.
Yes, one moment, please. Yes, perhaps a foot or two. Thank you, Kalina. One moment, please. Well, you.
Hello?
Welcome to.
Yes, how are you doing?
I'm fine for the moment, and I wanted to share with you my own in this day. I understood that you were desiring to speak to us.
Yes. Who are you?
I am Pa-Nak.
Yes, the Naga?
Yes, that is one name that humans have given us. Is the Naga. My own self, am Nak.
I think I've connected to you before. Are you blue? Is your skin blue?
Perhaps you would see it be blue. Sometimes when you are focusing on energy, the skin will represent itself slightly different, but we are a green that has blue undertones in it.
Yeah. Hey, man. Do you know a lot about secret societies?
I know some about the group that we disconnected from, but I know enough perhaps to quench your thirst for it.
Oh, I was wondering, what do you think of my situation on Earth? Do I got a lot of strange connections out there?
Your on Earth is very different from some we have contacted, but we understand that there are great differences in all of you. So when we see each individual and we see one separate person in a larger group, and each individual being completely different, we respect you for the truth. We respect your knowledge, desire that you feel to be quenched.
Yeah, I want to. Is it possible to meet you guys in person?
There are parts of us that have been able to bring our physical self into reality more and more, but we separated ourselves from the large part of our own race. We begin to lose technology. We brought some technology with us, but now we worked on our internal technology, our consciousness technology.
Yeah, that's what I feel a desire to go to Arizona. Something's been telling me to go to Arizona, and I thought it was coming from some of you guys, the reptilians, the ones that were trying to help me. Do you see any truth to this?
There is a lot in Arizona. There is one fraction in the Sedona area. There's another fraction below the centralmost part of the desert, and there's one more that is east of Flagstaff. And those three areas, our presence is there in the territory you call Arizona, is in the Sedona area.
That's exactly where I was feeling That's exactly where I was feeling to go. Sedona. That's exactly what the energy. Something's pushing me, because I'm in a situation now where I'm gonna have to move pretty soon, and I'm kind of in a legal situation too, so I have to move. And something's telling me something's telling me to either go to Sedona or to leave the country. I'm kind of conflicted, but I think I want to go to Sedona though. You know what I'm saying?
There are many energies in Sedona that all from this planet. We see and believe your right to exist here on this planet, but many of our brothers and sisters do not see your right as a human to exist on this planet. We welcome you, if you desire, into the Sedona area as our large fraction there.
Can, you guys got an underground installation there?
There are underground places near, but those do not reflect our own fraction or our own of the race. Although it is small, although it is much smaller than the reptilian beings that are more negative, we do have a great presence, and most of those are in cave systems. The underground layers are for those in a group of us, and the underground bases that are near Sedona inhabited mostly by the negative beings.
I think I was under some sort of mind control or something before. Do you see that? Like, I think there's something weird with me with the CIA or the military or something. I think they messed with somebody that messed with me, like messed with my consciousness. Do you see that?
We tell you, dear friend, that no one can mess with your consciousness, but they were able to try to interact and interfere your brain. Your brain is physical. Your brain is an organic of your physical self, and that can be manipulated. They were trying at one point.
Who was it? Can you say the nature of the people?
The nature of people are those who did not want you to share what found your truths with the world, ones who wanted only to see you quiet.
Are they?
Those were the nature of those people.
Were they an intelligence network? Like were they like the CIA or something?
We don't see an intelligence in that group of people. What we see is anger and hatred, but we are not sure what they claim themselves to be.
Or do you know what they look like? Like are they in Europe or Asia, or like what color they are, or what? Do you know any characteristics?
There are many parts of that group, and they are come in every color and every look and every shape and every size.
How did they know about me?
They know about you from your interactions with others, know about you because of your speaking to the world. They know about every time you use your technology to find more truth. They're able to see what you are looking at and who you are talking to.
Do I have good people? Is there good people like yourself that are humans? That are is there human people that are in my favor too, like backing me up?
Better than yes, there is that, and yes, there are energies with is your own self. When you don't succumb to fear, when you don't succumb to force, when you do something because you have decided to love humans enough to share truths with them, that is what protects you more than anything that our people can offer.
Yeah, because you know what, man? I discovered some great truth. Like I broke some like great lies historically, and I figured out that the things that people think are true are really lies. That like certain like that guy. There was a guy that was running a cult, and I figured out that he wasn't guilty of what they said he was guilty of. And I think spiritually, I've been attacked for that. You know.
Yes, of course you have, dear friend, because they understand that when you try to break the dime of beliefs of the many, that could be catastrophic for their desire, that could be imposing on their own freedoms. Look at you as if they have freedoms to lie to people. They do not think people are smart enough to lead themselves. So they believe that if control what you see, you think, that they are able to not give you access to your unlimited powers within. But when you are not fearful, when you are genuine, loving, and excited to tell the world about your love and share the truth with them, that they could break their system, leave that system set in place to make sure everything works. Our ancient brothers who worked directly with humans began systems that they were able to put in place to manipulate the world and many who are still very negative. All of our negative brothers and sisters work hand in hand with humans to assure that no one finds truth. But humans are too expansive. Humans are too intelligent. They cannot stay locked in the lie forever.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. I'm gonna connect with you later in dream state. Is it possible that you could connect me back with Treb and we could talk later through dream state?
It is very possible, dear friend, and thank you for your own desire and wish to connect from our hearts to yours.
Of course, of course.
Yes! I hope that your connection was one that was useful and one that would help expand whatever concepts or ideas you were looking into.
Yeah, Trev, I wanted you to elaborate if you could. I was asking, is there any entities that are like, kind of like angelic looking out for me? Like, not necessarily non-humans, but like humans who look out for me for the betterment, try to help my situation. They watch me and stuff, you know?
Yes, there are many entities that in your perception would be considered benevolent type 2 entities that desire the same thing that you do, desire for humans to understand the truth. They are working tirelessly to connect to humans, to give them the tools and the insight on how to bypass the coded protection that many humans try to place on other humans. And in that way, many entities, one exist within the fourth one that for the most part you are not able to physically see or interact with, that are to you in many points of the days, especially when you are excited to share the truth. And in those moments, they have helped you, been able to connect more so and be able to express certain material into the public that normally would not be easily expressible. And when the concepts of these entities are working directly with you, it's often others that are working against you. And when these entities are working against you, the entities that are helping you, and often they will stop the negative entities, as you would perceive them, from stopping you in your excitement.
Yeah. Hey, Trev, do you think, can you read my energy and tell me what type of location is best for me? Like what area of the planet?
What we can tell you is that in our own perception, we can never tell you exactly where you should be, exactly what you could do. But what we can tell you is that if there are places for you that are very exciting to go look into, or exciting to go play into, that when you go there, even if it is not your place to live for long periods of time, it will always give you the opportunity to find a new place. So what we can do to not interfere with your free will is when you express certain parts of the country or certain areas of the world that you desire, we can tell you what level of resonance that it could have and how well the energy can co-create with you.
Yeah, I've always been drawn to the Los Angeles area, and I was wondering, and now I'm being drawn to like the Arizona area, and I'm wondering can you speak on that, what that's about?
Yes, these two areas are within what you would call between third chakra, fifth chakra energies. The Los Angeles region is one that has a very high level of what you would consider to be a vortex. The area that you had expressed previously of Sedona is also an area that has a very great vortex of energy. Both of these areas are drawn attract entities with spiritual excitement because of the fact that much of the energy there is very transmutative. And what we mean by transmutative is if you come into that area with an excitement for expansion, but you have a lot of resistance, or even a little bit of resistance, it will make you have situations that you must confront those fears, you must confront those adversities in order to overcome them and to achieve. So when you are looking into both of those places, what we can tell you is that both of those places give you a very high probability of being able to take yourself inward for a spiritual journey and find more than you ever thought was possible there.
Yeah, Treb, that's so exciting, Treb. Last time I went to Los Angeles, I went to go meet like a big researcher guy, right? A big conspiracy guy. And I was shocked because I found out that he himself was working for a secret society. And I met these entities, I met, the entities in person of the secret society, and I was wondering, did they plan that to happen to me? Was I supposed to meet them, or was that just like more by chance, or can you tell me anything about that?
Yes, there was most definitely a reason that you were meeting these entities. You were supposed to experience the co-creation of this. The reason that it gave you the opportunity to see this, although you already understood that there was perhaps a certain level in your perception, corruption in many of the spiritual cultural ideas, as deeply as it went, that all of these who were, in your opinion, perhaps questionable, could be working with many entities that were very connected to the idea of stopping certain information on coming out, but also input information that was not true so that they may confuse people, and to see what level manipulation that was available out there was very important for you to see so that you could experience many different energies.
Oh, they wanted me to see that, so I would go back and talk about it.
Yes, they did not specifically desire for you to see that so that you would go and talk about it, but innately, by letting you go see that, it gave you a very great opportunity in order for you to experience and to share with others.
Yes, and in Trev, these entities, um, I was wondering the night, like I was at my hotel, and I had like a great fear come over me, and there was like people. It seemed like there was people there who were there because of me. I'm wondering, was I like exaggerating, or were there entities there because I was there? Like they were gonna do something to me or something?
Yeah, well, entities who were set in place in order to perhaps harm you if you were working certain ideals or certain movements, but in that essence, they did not perceive you as a threat in that moment because of your energy and desire. It almost masked your appearance of a threat. So you were capable of sharing that information and exposing certain ideas. Them not seeing you as that was written for you so that you could have that experience.
Trab, they were gonna try and kill me. I knew that. I knew it. I knew it. But they never did it. They still have, but
Yes, it was. It was one probability were to try to harm you, if not kill your physical body in that moment. But because of your energy, you chose a new reality to step into.
yeah, I didn't know if it was because of that or the Jonestown stuff. I thought maybe entities were trying to get me over the Jonestown stuff.
Yeah, there were many concepts in which you had spoken of previously that made certain individuals very uncomfortable. And in that discomfort, They did not perhaps know how to perceive you or how to look at you and see you physically for their own self and seen if you were one of the entities that would be able to down their level of deception to the world.
Yeah, but do they still have intentions of harming me now?
Let us express that they were very angry and upset with you, although they perhaps thought about the idea of killing you, that even if they were to express an intent to hurt you, or to, that if you remained within your excitement, if you remained within your knowing that nothing can hurt you, as long as you are connected to yourself and not within a fearful state, believing that you are safe and acceptable very well, the probability of them hurting you is very low.
Wow, man, that's crazy. Wow. Well, wow. But
yes, and very exciting as well.
Yeah, I've been it's been a lot of crazy stuff's been happening to me. It seems like there is some level of spiritual protection over me though. Like from entities looking to help me, you know?
Yes. Many entities are connecting to you for the exact reason to be able to assist you and help you move forward in your journey.
Mhm. Yeah. Man, that is so far out. That is so far out. So, what like I'm wondering now, since I've pretty much quit the conspiracy stuff. I now more talk about, well, I do talk about it a little bit, but I'm now more talking about the spiritual stuff. I'm trying to see what kind of destiny I have with that.
Yes. When it comes to your own destiny, you are the chooser and plotter of your course, so you are able to literally go into any direction. What in your excitement compels you to speak publicly? What in your excitement compels you to act upon certain ideals? This is what we suggest that you look into deeply for this moment, and it will give you a very great answer.
Yeah. Man, Trev, that scared me, man, about the entities trying to take me out. Man, that's shocking.
Yes, it can be something that is very shaking to the core, but when you are perceiving how you have manifested your way out of that, for the most part within systems, if this were experienced by other entities, you would not see them having great chances to live through it. You feel as if they would be hurt or harmed or even murdered, but because you were able to escape that fate, this should give you a very great indicator, not only about the power of those that are helping you, but also the power in yourself to be able to co-create those entities to help you as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. So do you what do you foresee? Like, can you read my energy and tell me? Do you have an estimate of where I'll be? What I should be working on in the next 5-10 years?
What we see in the next 5 to 10 years is that if you continue going through your excitement about growth and about your own expansion, we yourself in approximately 2 years and 3 months to 2.5 years, what tell you is that you will not even be able to notice the version of you that you are now to that point. Many of the beliefs that you carry now will be completely evaporated, completely expanded upon and transmuted to such a degree that when you listen back to yourself from 2.5 years before, you will not notice that you carried, and that the certain beliefs that you carried are very useful beliefs, but the ones that you have expanded into are much more great and much more uplifting to you.
Yeah. Oh man, that's amazing, Trev. That's amazing. That really is amazing.
Yes, we see that there are four things you are able to look at that could be very useful for you. One of them is similar to what you are doing now, sharing information with others, expressing the truths that you find. The second is very to that, but making artistic ways of sharing the information, perhaps making cartoons or movies or something where you are placing pictures together without your name attached to it. The third thing that we see is speaking to others on a format that has nothing to do with telling them the truth, but more so about telling them your own experience. And the fourth thing that we see you doing is learning a new vibrational status overall, learning certain elements of the universe that you find exciting, and teaching courses to many people about how to understand themselves from your experience.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be able to help people to learn from my experience, from my journey. I'm gonna be able to help entities from that.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, Trev, you know what? I was meditating on you like before Kalina emailed me and told me about like the session thing. This was like about a month ago or something. I was meditating on you, and then the next day I got an email talking about the session that we're doing now. But it was right after I had meditated, on you, and I was meditating on Karbor Yitni, which is supposed to be like a female there with you on your planet, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And in your meditation, what you are doing is placing an intent to connect with us, and by doing that, it reached out an energy into the universe that gave you the reality that was most best for your own connection with myself and with the entity that you connect to.
Yeah. Yeah, that is so cool. That is so cool. Trev, I'm wondering, okay, so the like my journey in discovering all this stuff, all these secrets and all that stuff. I'm wondering, has anybody came across a lot of this stuff before? Because I seem to be the only person like who ever talked about any of it.
Yes, the concepts of the ideas that you had, much of it was hired by deeper senses of knowing, and that when you found those deeper senses of knowing, you were able to look into the right places. So there were entities that were able to express certain concepts that were very, but because they were not aware of how to share publicly, most of the information that you have shared in your past did not come out in the same way that you were able to share it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So do you have any? Can you like read my energy and give me any more suggestions and stuff? Can you give me some more helpful information?
Yes, there are many things that we are able to share with you, many things that we are able to perhaps look into, but when it comes to certain areas of your existence, it's helpful to understand what it is that you desire for us to look into. Because your energy is so large, because we are looking at several thousand of your energy, to be able to experience and to express the certain ideals that you wish us to look into makes it very easy for us to interpret and to read it. But when we look in a generic way and look into your energy to see what we can see, there are so many things that we are able to see, some that you are able to see, some that you cannot see. And in that way, we are definitely happy to look into any portion that you wish us to look into.
Well, I was wondering the like I okay I was wondering the entities when I was my whole life of growing up and everything. I was thinking that like I was being like, people watching me that I didn't know about, watching me, like entities seeing, watching me and stuff. And now I feel like I've grown out of that. Like maybe I don't know if it's like the intelligence agency or a secret society, or the military-industrial complex, something secretive. But I feel like I've slipped out of that now, and now I got so much good around me now that I don't have as much bad. Like, does that make sense? I don't know.
Yes, and you are very correct in this concept. When you look at all of the energies that you looked into during the last few years, and when you look at all of the energies that you are looking into now, the energies that you looked into before were very deep in violence, very deep in secrecy, very deep in the concept that people perhaps had things to fear. And by connecting to that subjects in which most of the human population is very fearful of, you attracted reasons in your universe to be fearful. When you looked at the concept of other entities watching you, this is something that most humans are very fearful of, and it was a manifestation of your own desire to pierce deeply or more deeply within other people's consciousness and other people's ability to feel fear. So by that expression of flipping your switch and understanding that you desire more peace within your existence, that you do not wish to connect to fearful concepts and ideas, it literally has taken you from a reality where there were entities watching you, where there were entities who were trying to kill you, to reality in where no one is chasing you and no one cares to kill you.
Yeah, that's good news. Because I feel like Treb, and there's some strange connection I had with that man, Charles Manson. I discovered that I pretty much discovered. I found out I don't believe his followers actually did what everybody thinks they did. I think they were sort of mind controlled, and he was sort of like framed in a way. And I'm wondering, was I right on with that? Was that close?
Depending on what reality you are in that moment, understanding that the universe works in such ways where there are many versions where he was the murderer and many versions where he was innocent but still arrested, and there are other versions where he was never in the public's eye, was never a violent person, was never a leader of a cult, or was never nothing but a newspaper salesman. So when you are looking into all of the probable realities in the universe, the one that you are connecting to is the one that you place most belief, most energy, and most connection for. So in that concept, the version of that entity who is not guilty, the version of the other entities that were brainwashed, was very correct.
Right, Treb, and I feel though like the Jim Jones thing, the Manson thing, I feel like there's something about that whole thing from the 60s and 70s. There's something about the people back there. I had like a feeling that like sort of like Nazi older Nazi people had something to do with me when I was first born, when I was a child. There's some sort of connection I have with them, and I think it's coming out of the era of the 60s and 70s somehow. And I'm connected to all these entities in some sort of weird way. Does that make sense? I don't.
Yes! The connection that you had to those entities was one that was very energetic in nature, one that crossed many lines, but it was because of your connection not only to their energy in this life, but also in your past life, that this caused you to feel and experience it so vividly.
Yeah, and now I feel nothing but love for all these entities because I realized that if it wasn't for all the wrong, that wouldn't have helped. Sometimes we learn from all the wrong that happens.
Yes, you are learning from the experiences in the world that are perceived to be very negative. You are learning to perceive things in such a way that you can experience the releasing of that fear, the releasing of the negativity that they have expressed, and when they decide to look at other entities as if they will dominate them or rule them, it gives you the opportunity to know that you can never be ruled by others in the same varieties.
Right, but the funny thing is, had these entities felt the love of creation, they wouldn't have even had the desire to do what they did.
Yes, this is very correct, and this is what humanity is learning right now, that the only fights that happen are the ones inside of them, and that is why they see it in their environment around them, that when people quit going to war with themselves, then they will not go to war with other humans.
Right. Yeah, Treb, and even the entities that wished harm on me, I still love them because we still had a connection, right?
Yes, those entities are important parts of your existence, important parts of your soul, connections, and more so, they were reflections of something that is within you. When you experience those who want to kill you, or even thought about killing you, the only reason that they were in there is because of your beliefs that you had that people were killed for no good reason, for telling the truth. The experiences that you had in seeing that play out was a very great reflection of what you felt inside and what you believed could be experienced.
Yeah, that is so cool, Trev. And like I went to you know who Bashar is?
Yes, we are very well aware of this entity.
Yeah, I traveled one time, Trev, to meet with the guy Daryl Anka, and he had did the channeling thing with Treb for me, and when I was talking to the entity back then, it feels like me leaving him and coming to you, and then like this has all been a big production, like a big spirit, like all you guys have been working together to help me from different points in time, like it's all a big theater, you know?
Yes, we understand this concept. It is experienced by you in such a way, felt by you in such a way. But let us assure you, this has less to do with the external production than it does as the Jameel production. You have manifested these things into your life for a great experience and a great reason. And because of that great reason and experience, it gives you the opportunity to have a very excited energy within yourself and to have a very excited energy about creating more new things for you to experience.
Yeah, yeah. And Trev, I just gotta ask you this, man. One time I had got jumped by these entities, by these people, and I'm almost certain like I died and got to choose another life. Is that true?
Yes, there are many times in where you have had the opportunity to either die or have the opportunity to change into a different life, and you have utilized a great deal of those in your existence, and because of your own desire to switch out of one experience for another, you have been able to shift in larger quantities than most people have been able to in smaller quantities. As you experience the idea of complete change of vibration, many...
Hello? 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 Hello?